The ZEUS Complex is a very straightforward and simple strength building complex that's going to be hitting the majority of your body. So it's going to be a great complex for you to add to any kettlebell workout or any full body strength workout in general. Now for this one, you are just going to need one kettlebell, and it is a single kettlebell complex. And it's going to consist of 3 exercises: single arm rows, cleans, and single arm front squats. Let's talk about it. So the first exercise is going to be the single arm row, and it is going to start off with 6 reps of that. Now for these rows, you have a couple different options. You can take your rows and do them with the kettlebell in between your legs, as you see my legs here, or you can stagger your legs and the arm that is rowing, that leg is going to kick back. This is strictly a personal preference, and you can do whichever variation feels a little bit more comfortable for you. But the one thing you are going to be focusing on when doing your rows is that your hand is coming about to your hip. This elbow is going back and not straight up. So when we do our rows, we don't want to be pulling this kettlebell to our shoulder, because this is going to be a weak and inefficient and unsafe rowing position. We want to make sure that this elbow is going back and our hand is getting right around to our hip. That is how we want to make sure we are doing our rows efficiently. We should be feeling them in our lats, not in our biceps and our shoulder. Now, after you do your 6th single arm row, you're gonna go right into your 5 cleans. Now, as always, when it comes to our kettlebell cleans, we have 2 options, and it's going to be dependent on where your skill level is at with your kettlebell cleans. If you are new to them and you are not that efficient at not bashing your wrist, because that is always going to be our #1 goal, you are going to finish your last row, and then from there you can go right up into your cleans like this. So kettlebell goes down to the ground, we extend up. Kettlebell just goes from the floor up to the shoulder, and that's gonna make a nice smooth transition into your front rack position so you're not bashing your wrist. Now, if you are a little bit more efficient and skilled with your cleans, then you are going to be able to swing them. What you can do there is your last row, you'll then scoop back just a little bit so this kettlebell is out in front of you, tilt it towards you, hike back, and you go into your cleans there. So swinging between our legs and up. Pick whichever variation is going to be simpler for you and going to be more efficient in the sense of you're not bashing your wrist, because at the end of the day, that is what we want to avoid no matter what. So from the floor or swinging, both are fine. Pick the variation that works best for you. Regardless, you're doing 5 cleans. Now again, whichever variation to clean you decided to do, it does not matter. You're still going to be finishing here. So you do your 5th clean. From there, you're going to leave it here, and we are doing 4 single arm front squats. Now when it comes to these squats, we want to make sure our elbow is getting in and down. We want to keep it nice and tight to our body. We're not holding this kettlebell out here. This is lazy, and the kettlebell is just sitting on my shoulder. Let's get that elbow in and down so our core and our lats are going to be work as we go down into 1, 2, 3, 4 single arm front squats. One thing that you can keep in mind with these squats is if you start to get heavy enough and you're really pushing yourself with a heavier kettlebell, holding the kettlebell in this position in the bottom of that squat is going to be the difficult part. So if you need just a little bit of help, you can take your opposite hand, hold the kettlebell a little bit, and as you drop into the bottom of that squat and get really low, it's gonna give you just a little assistance. You are using the other hand to assist only if you need to, because the kettlebell is going to fall out of your hands or fall out of that front rack position, not if you want to. There's a difference between I need to use it and I want to. So our ZEUS complex is going to consist of 6 rows, 5 cleans, and 4 single arm front squats. Let's take a look at what an entire set put together is going to look like. 6 rows, 1, 2, 6. I'm going to swing my clean, so I scoot back. 1, 2, nice smooth transition. 3, so I'm not bashing my wrist. 4, 1 more. 5, leave it up here, elbow in and down. Here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4 squats. Down. If I was doing a full set, I would immediately get into the other side, do my other side, 6, 5, 4. Entire complex on both sides, that equals 1 set. So 6, 5, 4 on one side, 6, 5, 4 on the other. Like I said, that is 1 set. After you finish 1 set, you can go ahead and rest about a minute to a minute and a half is usually what I recommend when doing a complex like this. If you are tight on time or looking for a little bit more of a conditioning response out of your workout, you can rest for 45 seconds. If you're really pushing the weight and really want to push your strength just a little bit, you can always rest a little bit more, maybe get up into that 2-minute range. Make the complex work for what you have access to, make the complex work for what you want out of your workout. If you do not have kettlebells that are going to challenge you with the rep scheme that I just laid out, 6-5-4, you have a few different options. You can always just bump up the reps. So maybe you do 8 rows, 7 cleans, and 6 front squats. That is totally fine. If you have 2 kettlebells, you can use 2 kettlebells. So go double, 6 rows, 5 cleans, 4 squats. If you have 2 kettlebells, but they are light, you can do the same thing and just bump the reps up. You do a little bit of both. So 8 double rows, 7 double cleans, 6 squats. Again, just kind of throwing some options out there for you. Again, make these complexes work for you, work for what you have access to, and what you're looking for out of your workouts. At the end of the day, there's no perfect 100% right way that you need to be doing these. So that is your ZEUS complex: 6 rows, 5 cleans, 4 front squats. Rest about a minute to a minute and a half, and you can do anywhere from 5 to 8 sets, depending on how hard you work and how much time you've got in your workout, all right? I know you were gonna love this one. Give it a shot. After you do, go right here and you're gonna grab your next kettlebell complex. I'll see you there.